Greetings, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving to you and to your loved ones. I wish you all a beautiful day today. The most important thing is not the material things or those things that we're going to eat either. The most important things to give thanks for are the things that feed our soul: love, peace, and compassion. And I wish for all of those to be present today in your home with who you celebrate with. I'm going to ask you to quiet your minds and hearts as we prepare to hear today's gospel, which is from St. Luke, chapter 17, verses 11 through 19. As Jesus continued his journey through Jerusalem, he traveled through Samaria and Galilee. As he was entering a village, 10 persons with leprosy met him. They stood at a distance from him and raised their voices, saying, "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." And when he saw them, he said, "Go show yourselves to the priests." As they were going, they were cleansed. And one of them, realizing he had been healed, returned, glorifying God in a loud voice. And he fell at the feet of Jesus and thanked him. He was a Samaritan. Jesus said in reply, 10 were cleansed, were they not? Where are the other 9? Has none but this foreigner returned to give thanks to God? Then he said to him, "Stand up and go. Your faith has saved you." In this time of Jesus, the Samaritans and the Jews were always at odds with one another. Sound familiar? Unfortunately, we have people at odds with one another too, 2,000 years later. However, an interesting thing happens. They are brought together by a common misfortune, leprosy, which was a dreaded disease back then. And that common misfortune brought them together, and they all came for healing to Jesus. And yes, we'll talk about it in a minute, they all gave thanks, maybe in a different way. We remember so well, I'm sure, the events of 9/11. People at odds with one another then were brought together by a common misfortune. And they gave thanks for life. They gave thanks for peace. They gave thanks for compassion. They gave thanks for healing one another. Similar to what took place 2,000 years ago in this gospel. This is the highest form of thanks. And it's something we celebrate today and every day. Because guess what? There are common misfortunes that go on every day that we can find to separate our differences, give thanks for healing, for life, and for compassion. Now, as Jesus points out, just the Samaritan came forth to vocalize his thanks. And he says, "Where are the other 9?" We don't know whether they were off already doing good deeds because of what was done for them and offering their service to one another for the gratitude for being healed by Jesus. So we have 2 messages today, as there are going to be many different items on your table. There's going to be potatoes, there's going to be vegetables, there's going to be all types of very tasty things. We have 2 things to look at for Thanksgiving. One is this common misfortune, which, as I said, is going to be present in our lives all the time. And the other is to never assume what someone else is doing to give thanks for what they have received. They may be off doing something that we didn't even think of, instead of vocalizing their thanks. Ultimately, it comes down to mindfulness, to being joyful, and to celebrating this day not as just the day that it is, but a day that we can take into our mind and heart and use every day to give thanks for those things that are most important, that feed our soul. I wish you all a wonderful Thanksgiving today and every day. And I will see you back here soon. Take care, everyone.